Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Well, a few flurries possible this morning. Otherwise, a weather roller coaster into this weekend. Temperatures warm up, then a big cool down next week. I'll let you know when wind chills could drop to the single digits.
And deadly crash. Troopers investigating after a man was killed in Nash County. What we know about the moments leading up to this crash.
And new assault allegations. Another person has come forward in the case against a fired UNC Rex nurse. Why more charges could be on the way for the suspect. We do want to begin a little bit talking about what we have been seeing outside this morning. We've been talking about the flurries that have been spotted in the area, mostly to our northern communities. And you can look right here on the screen there. Usually it's where the lampposts are that you can really see it well. Thanks so much for joining us this morning here on WRAL News. I'm Chris Levingood.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. I saw a couple of snowflakes driving in this morning. Just a few, not many. But I said, oh my goodness, is that snow? I think that is snow. But just flurries, Grant.
Yeah, there's a couple of flurries out there this morning. It's not very impactful, and it's not very much at all. I've been watching radar very closely, and we're not seeing a whole lot right now, and I'll show you on Do the Upper 5000 in a second. Looking outside from our WRAL studio tower camera, not seeing anything here. Of course, very festive tower, but not seeing any snow flurries right now. You can see we had a few more over Wake County about 15 minutes or so ago, but those have since dissipated. We're seeing some very light rain to the south and east, closer to the coastline, but that's about it. Radar is pretty quiet right now. We still could see some very light flurries across our area, mainly for the triangle and points north through this morning and through around lunchtime. But as this warm front lifts north, it'll slowly work its way out of the area. The warm front's the cause for the flurries and the cloud cover today. It'll stay cool, but then we'll warm up this weekend. I'll let you know how much we'll warm up and also when to expect temperatures to plummet. That's coming up in a bit.
All right, Grant, happening now, the WRAL Traffic Center, live look at I-40 and Jones Sausage Road. These are the westbound lanes coming in from Garner, Johnston County this morning into the Wake County, Raleigh area, flowing at a nice steady clip, so no delays to report whatsoever. And similarly, as we widen out the view, I-85 coming from Durham, US 1 coming from Apex, delay free at this hour. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thank you, Ken. Breaking news. One person is dead after a crash in Nash County. Highway Patrol has confirmed that the crash happened on Taylor Store Road, north of Nashville, just before midnight. Troopers say the driver, 25-year-old Evan Mills, ran off the road and hit trees before overturning. He was ejected from the car and died on the scene.
More charges could be coming for a nurse accused of sexually assaulting patients at UNC Rex. Since Brian Alvarez Ortiz's appearance in court yesterday, a third person has come forward accusing him of assault. Let's bring in Sean Gallagher. He's live at UNC Rex this morning. Sean, this new information comes as police they're asking people who may be victims to come forward.
And Chris, that's on top of UNC Rex also creating a confidential tip line to help those victims have somebody to tell as well. We have both numbers for UNC Rex and RPD on our website associated with this story for anyone interested in reaching out. But this is the latest information we know about the case. There are 13 total charges related to the sexual assaults, with more expected, according to the district attorney's office. And it's a disturbing case. The DA's office says the victims were in a recovery room after surgery when they were allegedly assaulted by Alvarez Ortiz, who was a nurse here. Raleigh police believe incidents happened on at least 3 separate days, once in October and twice in November. UNC Rex says it fired Alvarez Ortiz on November 25th. Now, WRAL spoke to an attorney representing one of the victims who has concerns about how many more could be out there.
If this happened to him, who else did it happen to? Because we often represent numerous victims in cases like this. There's a term in our industry, it's called cluster litigation, and we've had as many as 65 people in one case that have been victimized in an institutional, situation.
And UNC Rex provided a statement about the incident, saying in part, after it received one patient's complaint, they immediately began an investigation into Alvarez Ortiz and then reported the allegations to the NC Board of Nursing, fired him, and cooperated with RPD in its investigation. Now, Alvarez Ortiz is a Mexican citizen, according to the district attorney's office. He was here on a green card, though they believe immigration could get involved in this case. Alvarez Ortiz is due back in court later this month, but it could be sooner if those new charges are filed soon. In Raleigh, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
People in Cary are calling for more transparency from their town leaders. That includes over tax money being used to pay for a council member's master's degree. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey live at Cary Town Hall for us this morning. Kelsey, there are so many unanswered questions about the suspension of the town's manager as well, working to see if that's related to all of this.
Yes, Michelle, there's just a lot of moving parts here this morning. We're staying on top of what's been going on here inside Cary Town Hall. Last night, town leaders got an earful from people about taxpayer dollars being used to subsidize a council member's master's degree. Financial records show the town paid $37,000 towards Mayor Pro Tem Lori Bush's degree, and she paid that money back. Emails obtained by WRAL show suspended town manager Sean Stiegel initially brought up the idea. Bush says she confirmed with the town manager, HR, and legal that tuition reimbursement was permissible. She added she learned later the proposal had not been brought up to all council members. The town says Stiegel's suspension is not related to this incident. So right now we're asking if Stiegel's suspension was not related to this, well, then what was it about? We've reached out to him several times about this incident, and we're still waiting to hear back. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Healthcare costs for millions of Americans could be going up. Yesterday, the U.S. Senate failed to pass two bills that would extend tax credits from the Affordable Care Act. Now, one bill is from Democrats and the other from Republicans. Democrats have been pushing for an extension for months. The subsidies are expected to expire on January 1st, and that could cause premiums to double for many Americans.
Health officials are preparing for an uptick in respiratory viruses as the holiday season gets into full swing. Doctors with the American Lung Association says there is a threat for a surge in COVID-19, flu, and RSV cases. Last year, the CDC estimated that at least 1 million people were hospitalized with respiratory illnesses and more than 70,000 deaths were reported. The CDC expects this year's totals to be similar. At least 6 deaths have been reported so far here in North Carolina. We spoke with a doctor at Duke Health. He says an early flu season this year has led to a slight dip in vaccine rates.
So I think really the big difference is an early flu season that typically in the past has translated to not as many people being fully vaccinated by the time that flu arrives. We've seen a little drop off in vaccine rates.
And the CDC says of the people hospitalized last year across the country, around 1 in 3 were vaccinated. Health officials are encouraging people to use everyday methods to prevent sickness, including hand washing and regularly washing surfaces that are touched a lot.
Meanwhile, South Carolina is dealing with a large measles outbreak. 254 people were placed into quarantine, and 111 of the cases were recorded in the upstate region. 105 of those involved people were unvaccinated, and 16 are in isolation. Health leaders say the spike in cases came after Thanksgiving travel and because of a lack of vaccinations.
Investigators are looking into new evidence after a vehicle linked to a decades-old missing persons case was found in Nash County. The sheriff's office recovered this 1992 Pontiac Grand Am submerged in water near the old Middlesex Road and Turkey Creek. It belonged to Travis Lynch. He was reported missing in 2003. He vanished that Christmas Eve, never making it home from his girlfriend's house. Investigators are now looking at this new evidence with the help of the FBI. Anyone with information is asked to call the sheriff's office. A suspect in a murder in eastern North Carolina is in custody after weeks on the run. Dominic Connolly was found after he was accused of murdering his grandmother and going on the run for 6 weeks. He was found yesterday in an abandoned building that officials had already searched. They searched again with canines. The sheriff says Connell was in bad shape physically and may be taken to Raleigh for medical care.
A candidate for state senate says he's not going anywhere. That's despite President Donald Trump endorsing his opponent. Senate leader Phil Berger is being challenged by Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page. Earlier this week, the president signaled his support for Berger. But Page says he's still staying in the race. Page says instead of an endorsement, Trump called him earlier this month offering a job in Washington.
Response was I appreciate the offer and the opportunity to come and work in Washington, but I believe I can be more effective and in a better capacity working with people directly in the district.
The endorsement comes weeks after Berger led to the state's effort to redraw a congressional district. But it's a strategy pushed by Trump to help Republicans keep control of the U.S. House during the midterms.
This morning, the Carolina Panthers are in first place in the NFC South. That's because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost last night. The Atlanta Falcons came back from 14 points with less than 14 minutes left in the game in Tampa Bay. The Falcons won on this 43-yard field goal as time expired. The final score 29-28. The Buccaneers are now a half game behind the Panthers for the division lead. And the Panthers will have a chance to extend their lead this weekend as they push for the playoffs. Carolina will be in New Orleans this Sunday to play the Saints. Kickoff is at 4:25. You can watch that game on Fox 50. It's the second part of the NFL doubleheader on Fox on Sunday. It starts with the Las Vegas Raiders against the Philadelphia Eagles at 1 p.m. After the Panthers game and their Sunday Night Football on NBC, the Dallas Cowboys hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Kickoff for that game is 8:15 on WRAL. Well, coming up for us, 911 calls, the new details. We are learning about the moments after a deadly crash involving 3 school football players in Fayetteville.
And getting in the race. Basketball legend Michael Jordan says he is ready to move forward after settling a lawsuit with NASCAR. The roadblocks that his racing company had to overcome.
And with a warm front close by, temperatures have been kind of wavering this morning. A little bit warmer now in the mid-30s after starting in the low 30s. We're going to stay chilly this morning in the 30s and only warm up a bit this afternoon. I'll let you know how much will warm up, even more into Saturday, and then when to expect a big cool down. That's coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
We had some snow yesterday over Boone. Not seeing as much today, but there's still some snow that's been accumulated along the sidewalks. It hasn't quite melted yet. It's been really chilly in the northern mountains, especially up towards Boone. So watch out for some slick spots on the roadways, especially in the northern mountains. Today, temperatures will only reach the upper 30s, but thankfully above freezing. Might see some more melting into Boone. Asheville, Bryson City sitting in the 50s today. If you're headed towards the mountains into the start of the weekend, temperatures will warm up a bit tomorrow into the 50s, possibly close to 60 degrees in Bryson City. Precipitation chances look low overall, and possibly some fog tomorrow up in Boone. Temperature at 46 degrees by the afternoon Saturday. Some stubborn cloud cover for us today. It'll stay cool. Temperatures only reach the 40s for most spots. I'll let you know how much will warm up as we head into Saturday. Coming up in just a bit. Ken?
Hey, grand weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We're going to start with this live look at that northern loop of the Beltline, I-440 and Ridge Road. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning, showing no delays whatsoever. Traffic picking up just a little bit. Right now, we got first responders working a crash at Six Forks and Wake Forest Road. That's the intersection right there with Costco. We're not seeing any delays in that particular area, but if that intersection sounds familiar to you, just know that you'll be seeing some police activity. But the entire loop of that northern loop of the Beltline, delay-free at this hour. You're getting ready to head into the cartoonist and on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Well, the situation in Gaza continues to worsen. This due to weather as rainwater drenches and floods displacement camps. Palestinian media saying 11 people are currently dead, worsening the humanitarian crisis. Hamas, of course, blaming Israel, saying they can't get aid into the area right now.
WRAL has received the 911 calls from a deadly crash that killed 3 local high school football players. It happened on October 8th on Rose Hill Road in Fayetteville. 3 E.E. Smith players were killed in this crash. We have now received 6 of the 911 calls that were made that night. Several people called police saying they saw the crash. One of the calls came from an Apple Watch inside the car. It was an automated message saying the owner of the watch was in a severe crash. The driver, Diamond Monroe, is facing charges.
NASCAR reached a settlement in an antitrust lawsuit involving basketball legend Michael Jordan. The lawsuit centered around NASCAR's refusal to grant permanent charters to Jordan's 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports. Charters are basically NASCAR's version of franchises. After the news of the settlement, Jordan said this was a long process and he's ready to move forward.
Only way this sport's going to grow is we have to find some synergy between the two entities. And I think we've gotten to that point. Unfortunately, it took 16 months to get here, but I think, level heads that got us to this point to where we can actually work together and grow this sport. I'm very proud of it.
The financial side of the settlement won't be released, but NASCAR has confirmed the charters will be permanent. Oh, we have a fun list of events to tell you all about this weekend in today's WRAL's Out and About Best Bets.
That's right, happening tomorrow, the Durham Holiday Parade. Local bands and drill teams will be making their way down Main Street, and there will be a special appearance from Santa Claus. If you can't make it out to Durham in person, Chris, you can tune in to the WRAL broadcast tomorrow morning at 10. Ken Smith and I will be hosting that broadcast. WRAL is an official community partner of that parade.
And A Christmas Carol is taking over the Durham Performing Arts Center this weekend. There are 4 performances still scheduled, 1 tonight, 2 tomorrow, and 1 on Sunday. Information on tickets can be found on the DPAC website. If you didn't know, the first night of Hanukkah is on Sunday, and the organization Jewish for Good is hosting its Hanukkah festival that afternoon. That'll include artisan vendors, crafts, and a lighting of the menorah. That will be at the Jewish for Good Community Center on West Cornwallis Road from 2 to 5 p.m. And for more weekend best bets, go to WRAL.com and search Out and About.
And no matter what you're doing this weekend, everybody always wants to know what the weather is going to be like. It's going to be cold, I'll tell you that. I'm here with meteorologist Grant Skinner showing us our next weather maker.
Yes, cold for today, and then tomorrow a brief warm-up and that big cool down to start of next week. That's probably going to be the coldest air we've seen all season. So I'm going to talk more about what to expect into the start of next week. Monday morning looking frigid. But I want to start with our next weather maker. It's impacting us right now. It's this warm front that's providing the lift for some low cloud cover and also some very light flurries out there this morning. Most spots aren't seeing them, but you could see them this morning. I've been watching Dual Doppler 5000 very, very closely. Now starting to see a couple more flurries up towards the North Carolina-Virginia border. Those will likely work their way just along our northern spots. But again, accumulation is not looking as likely, maybe a dusting towards Virginia. Futurecast shows starting at 7 a.m. Maybe a couple of light flurries or maybe some very, very light rain in our northern spots. And those flurries or light snow will last through around lunchtime today and then finally back off. You can see by around lunchtime, some light flurries still left over up towards Roxborough, Henderson, and Vance County, as well as seeing some light snow. And then the clouds slowly work their way north by around 3-4 o'clock. We're actually seeing a few breaks in the clouds in our southern spots. So it could be a bit warmer closer to Fayetteville. Our next weather maker that's really going to impact us into the start of next week is this cold front. It's going to bring some very frigid air, some spotty rain possible in our southeastern spots into the end of the weekend, so into Sunday, mainly by the afternoon. But the coldest air of the season arrives on Monday. It's going to be very frigid then. Temperatures for air temperature like the around 15, 16 degrees for many spots, maybe as low as 12 degrees up towards Roxborough, 16 in Fayetteville. And look at the wind chills. Yeah, likely in the single digits for our northern spots. 4 Roxborough, yeah. It's going to be very, very cold. You're going to want multiple layers stepping out the door Monday morning, So this morning, still going to want some layers. It's a little bit on the cold side in the 30s this morning. 46 for the high, 57 on Saturday. For parades looking nice, but then by Sunday we start to cool off and then down to 16 degrees for our low on Monday morning. It's going to be chilly again.
Bundle up. Hey, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We'll start on the southern loop of the Beltline. Give you a live look at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. These are the eastbound lanes moving away from us this morning, but the westbound lanes, traffic beginning to pick up just a bit, but flowing at a nice steady clip. We're not seeing any delays whatsoever in that southern loop of the Beltline, as you can see from the big board. Also, if you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County this morning, no delays between Highway 36 and the Beltline as well. We do have first responders working a crash on Wake Forest and Six Forks intersection. That's right near the Costco. We're not seeing any delays in that area. And also, we're not seeing any delays on any of our major routes heading into the Raleigh-Wake County area. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Your time is 6:21. Eyes open and look on up. One of this year's best meteor showers will peak this weekend. When and where, you can watch.
And supply swipe donations for people experiencing homelessness are gone after a break-in at a Durham school. How you can help.
Hey, if you ever see breaking news, maybe you have a story tip or even video or pictures of severe weather where you are, go ahead and report that to us by going to WRAL.com/report it. The Durham Public School System is asking for your help after a break-in. The district had collected items like shampoo, soap, and deodorant for students who are experiencing homelessness. but most of it was stolen during a break-in at a DPS building. Well, now they're trying to gather replacements to refill their resource closet.
Give each child their own separate deodorant. So we want to be able to do that again. We want to make sure that our children, they look good, they smell good, and that they're ready to learn, just like their other peers.
And DPS is collecting new donations at their building on Bacon Street. They need all kinds of hygienic items, including lotions and deodorants, too.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
A milestone birthday this weekend and a new look at Taylor Swift's Eras Tour.
Yeah, here to talk about that this morning is Ken Smith with What's Trending.
Oh, well, let's start with a legend who is Dick Van Dyke, right? This Hollywood legend celebrating his 100th birthday this weekend. Listen, he recently came out with a book about living to 100, and a birthday celebration special will be in theaters this weekend, proving that age is but a number.
He is such a legend. He really is.
He really is, and he's affected so many people's lives. 100 years old, I mean, what a career and what a life he's lived.
And I said this earlier, if you missed it at 5 o'clock, All My Love by Coldplay,
Right.
they
Yeah.
did
I'm
their
gonna watch
music
that.
video, and they put him and his entire family in the music video, and it went through his entire life and career. It gives you the chills. It's amazing.
What an ode to a legend.
Yes.
So let's get to the Swifties. We got an early Christmas present for you all. The first 2 episodes of The End of an Era drop now on Disney+. The 6-part series gives us a behind-the-scenes look at her record-breaking Eras tour.
Yeah, there's a concert film about the tour's final show available on Disney Plus as well.
I haven't been to the Eras Tour, but Amy Wilmoth, I think, took her daughter, and she said it was phenomenal.
Incredible.
She knows what she's doing.
Quite an experience. All right, thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Ken.
Well, one way to give back this holiday season is through WRAL's annual Coats for the Children campaign. Now through December 31st, we need your help to gather as many coats, hats, and gloves as possible. To find a neighborhood Jiffy Lube drop-off location near you or to make a monetary donation, scan that QR code right there on your screen. You can also go to WRAL.com/coats and help WRAL and the Salvation Army spread warmth and hope.
New assault allegations. Another person is accusing a UNC Rex nurse of sexual assault. The calls from police for potential victims to come forward.
And calling for transparency. People in Cary want answers from their town leaders over possible ethics violations. How council members are responding.
And we had a brief break in the light flurries or snow, but now I'm watching Dual Doppler 5000. You can see in our northwestern spots up towards Roxborough and areas of the north and west. Maybe a few more flurries or light snow popping up. Now I'll let you know how long that lasts, who's most likely to see it, and also when we'll expect a warm up into the weekend. That's coming up.